Good morning, it's clay time, and we are going to start off with a piece of clay which we need to wedge. Wedging is taking the palm of your hand and working it into the clay, pounding it in just to get the air bubbles out. After you do that, you're going to take your clay and break off about 1/3 for attachments, eyes, ears, nose, etc. And the rest of the clay you're going to roll into a sphere. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you probably want to get it pretty smooth. After you do that, you're going to take your thumb. You've all made a pinch pot before. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to press into the center, not all the way down through, and then pinch, rotating the pot as you pinch. Our goal here is to get a even wall around the pot, and so it's not too thick in any one place. And just make sure it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. If your clay is drying out and cracking a little bit, one little fingertip of water, not a lot, just to kind of smooth that out would be sufficient. After you get a good pot, then you have to make a decision what animal you are going to create. We have a selection of pictures you can choose from, or perhaps you want to make your own animal, which is fine. The most important part is your attachment. And so I'm going to take the remainder of my clay now. I've got my little pinch pot here. And I decided I'm going to make a pig. I'm going to grab a little bit of clay to make the snout, roll it into a sphere. After I roll it, flatten it slightly, not flat like a pancake. I want it to have some sort of thickness. I don't want it to be real thin somewhere. And then I'm going to scratch and attach. This is our slip. It is a mixture of water and clay, and it works as a glue. So I'm going to scratch. I'm going to scratch both surfaces where I'm attaching and the piece I'm attaching, and then I'm going to apply the slip. Don't overdo it. Again, this works like a glue. And then you're going to attach. If you skip one of these parts, it will fall off in the kiln when we fire the clay. And bake it, cook it, whatever you want to say, it will end up falling off. All right, after you get your attachment on, in my case, the pig, I'm going to make some eyes. I'm just going to take a little piece of clay, break it in two, roll 2 spheres, and this is certainly your decision. If you just want to take one of our tools and draw things in, you can also do that. Obviously, as a pig, it will have a snout, so you can decide whether you're going to draw it in using a stylus or use one of our other tools to stamp something in for texture, whatever. Those are choices you can make. The eyes, 2 little spheres, about the same. They don't have to be perfect. Again, I flatten them just a little, and I would scratch and attach using slip, and place my eyes wherever I'm placing those. Ears for the pig would be a triangle. So again, I'm rolling it, flattening it out, and I'll probably do 2 triangular ears. They don't have to be perfect, but there's 2 triangles. Again, I would scratch and attach. If I do it on the inside, the outside is my decision. But whatever you do, whenever you're attaching any part of your piece, you want to scratch and scratch the surface, slip before you attach. If you don't do that, these stick right now because this is wet clay, but as this dries, these eyes will just roll off off the piece. Okay, so without doing any designs, which we have several different tools here available to you to add different textures and interesting designs, we need to add the feet for our little animal here. So I just put those ears there and just thinking probably be best before we add any attachments above to go ahead and add our feet on the bottom. So rewind there. I'm going to make 4 spheres, which I've made in advance in the interest of time. You know how to do that. The important part, of course, is what? Scratch and attach. So scratch, and you need to figure out where they're going to go at the base. Scratch and attach. And just kind of wedge it in there. Once you get all 4 legs on and they're all scratched and attached, sit them up, make sure they're in the right area so it sits balanced. And at that point, if I have ears or anything, that's when I would add those, right? You don't want to add anything too long and skinny. So let's say I wanted to do a tail. If I wanted to add a tail for this pig, I would not, if I did a coil, I would not want something really long like this, because if I try to attach this, it's going to come off in the kiln and break. So if I did a piggy tail, I would probably scratch and attach and maybe make a little coil that is very close to, but I would, again, scratch and attach everything using slip properly. And that's it. We have several different animal options for you. Have fun, but time is a concern. We only have this one class period, so all your designs, everything has to be done. You will be painting this when it's fired in the kiln, so you can get to it. And Miss Wilkins and I are here to help you, assist. If you have any questions, have fun, get creative.
Yay!